class, attend hut! Present arms!
On Friday, New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly greeted more than 1,100 Academy graduates. But he's not likely to see these young officers go on patrol. On New Year's Eve, as they begin their careers, Kelly will be ending his, stepping down at midnight as the longest-serving commissioner in the history of the NYPD.
I know you'll make us proud. May God bless you, and may God bless the New York City Police Department.
He leaves as a career cop whose aggressive tactics have both divided and transformed the city.
I remember a year when I was living here where there were more than 2,200 murders. What is it now?
Well, it'll probably come in at about 330.
What was once one of the nation's most dangerous big cities is no longer. Homicides, robberies, rapes, and larcenies are a fraction of what they were.
You know, there's still pockets in the city where there are problems, no question about it. But just a few years ago, people were afraid to come out of their houses, afraid to go into Midtown Manhattan. That's a bygone era.
In fact, driving crime out, Kelly says, is drawing new residents in.
So we can blame you for the higher rents in this
exactly.
city?
We're sorry for that. But.
It is remarkable how low they have driven crime, and they've done it at a time when the economy couldn't be worse.
Richard Aborn is president of the nonpartisan Citizens Crime Commission of New York City.
And what has really dropped is the crime that we all most fear, and that's the random crime. That sense of when you're walking down the street, somebody's going to rob you, somebody's going to assault you, somebody's going to shoot at you. And that's an enormous, enormous achievement.
Ray Kelly became a cop 47 years ago when he himself graduated at the top of his class at the police academy. After a training session at a firing range, he says, he was handed a gun and put right out on the street.
You know, we wouldn't dare do anything like that these days.
Kelly has had the department's top job twice, while most commissioners, including Teddy Roosevelt, who ran the NYPD in the late 1800s, held the position for less than 4 years. Kelly has been here for a total of 14. He runs the nation's largest urban police force with a $4.6 billion budget and faces a challenge many of his predecessors never imagined: international terrorism.
The counterterrorism issue is a game changer. It is something that no one ever thought needed to be the responsibility of an urban police chief. Now it is a clear responsibility.
In 2001, when terrorists brought down the World Trade Center, Kelly had left the NYPD and was working in the private sector. When Mayor Michael Bloomberg offered him the commissioner's job, he jumped at the chance.
I wanted to get back in the game. You know, after the events of 9/11, you felt a little bit helpless not being in government.
Device in! Go!
Kelly's response was to set up his own counterterrorism unit, the first of its kind, sometimes described as a mini CIA. Officers monitor the 4,000 cameras stationed throughout the city. Computers track calls that come in and crime as it happens.
You'll go to other cities and you'll see rooms that look like this, but it doesn't do what we do here.
On top of that, NYPD officers are stationed in 9 different countries outside the U.S. They answer to Kelly, not federal agencies. He says his team has averted as many as 16 planned attacks.
I mean, didn't you have to step on some toes, though? You're taking over counterterrorism from federal agents who had always been responsible for it.
Yeah, well, everybody was not happy, but you know, that's life. You have to be able to break some eggs and do the thing that you believe is right.
The former Marine, who has both a law degree and a master's in public administration, has come to symbolize the 21st century crime fighter. But some of his policies have also sparked a national debate.
I think that it's a violation of our rights.
Muslim leaders called for a federal investigation after undercover cops were sent inside mosques to conduct surveillance. And Kelly has become the face of a police practice commonly known as stop and frisk, which critics say is often abused in minority neighborhoods.
No justice, police! No justice, no peace!
In October, the commissioner, who had come to Brown University in Rhode Island to discuss policing policies, was taunted by protesters and finally heckled off the stage.
This is a one-sided conversation, and we're here to tell you, guess what? It's going to go this side this time.
But Kelly refuses to acknowledge any abuses by his department.
Well, I've said all along that this is a false narrative, that we have very good relations with the communities that we serve, and it's a tool in the toolbox that I think has to be kept available for officers to use.
You're not apologetic about it at all.
No, I'm not apologetic at all when we're saving lives.
And Kelly does have his supporters.
Commissioner is a very smart, he's respectful.
Last month, Kelly came to this Brooklyn neighborhood, still struggling with high crime, to meet with grandmothers like Inez Rodriguez.
Let me tell you something. We better have stop and frisk, because the minute they stop and frisk, your kids won't be safe, my kid won't be safe.
Some of the criticism about excessive stop and frisk has been fair.
But, says Richard Aborn,
You have to put the stop and frisk issue in a much broader context. He was police commissioner for 12 years. For sure there are going to be problems. But in total, if you look at his whole record, it's a very strong record.
healthy and fit at 72 years old, Kelly now plans to join the speaker's circuit. But for the next 36 hours, he still has a job to do.
This is a total immersion job. You either do it or you don't do it. And you have to sort of keep your foot on the pedal until the end.